This immune complex mediated inhibition of innate B cells is used to prevent hemolytic anemia of the newborn.
The first day of medical school has been the same for decades, a beginning that is at the end of a very long road.
On MHC2, you can present to CD4 cells.
This road almost always involves an affinity for science and often heartfelt motivation.
I wanted to show my children, like, I want to be a doctor and this is what I have to do.
Of course, there's general applause.
My parents emigrated from Honduras to the United States, and they always had complex and severe medical problems, so that's kind of what drew me to the field of medicine.
During my undergrad, I spent a summer in the Philippines on a medical mission trip to a group of remote islands, and because of the limited number of physicians and supplies, we were forced to turn some people away who were visibly ill. Because of a lack of a true medical education, I was not able to help these people in the way that they needed to be treated, and that has motivated me to pursue medicine.
Specificity has to
Altruism aside, admission is a challenge of its own.
The biggest thing for me wasn't really getting into medical school. It was getting my MCAT score.
I actually went to graduate school in Germany after I didn't get into medical school the first time I applied. And frankly, I'm really glad I did, because I didn't realize how much the dream of a career in medicine meant to me until then.
I did 2 years of a post-bac program. I did a year and a half of master's.
I had 3 children at a young age, and I made the decision with my wife that we would wait until they were in all-day school before I would go back and finish my undergraduate degree and then apply to medical school.
Day one is the beginning of another road, one that seems even longer and harder.
They always tell you medical school is going to be the hardest thing you're ever going to do in your life.
I wasn't exactly sure how hard it was going to be.
All I've heard is rumors of how hard it was and how impossible it's going to be.
Really intense.
You're going to not have that much sleep. In transition, it's not going to be anything you can prepare for.
It would just be go to school and study, and then go to school and take tests.
I just kind of thought it was going to be the worst thing ever.
Hopefully you survive.
Toward the end of their first year, members of the class of 2019 reflected on some of the personal skills they called upon to make the adjustment.
But I really knew that if I was going to make it, I had to be confident in myself. I had to understand that it was going to be a challenge, but that I was capable of it.
I usually try to treat this as a job, and I study at least 8 hours a day.
Telling myself, like, don't compare yourself. We're all different. We're all on our own journeys.
As long as you can have a balance, it's not impossible.
Balance is something these students talk about a lot, more than they talk about how difficult their studies are. For many, the small and cohesive size in South Bend was key to achieving balance in a challenging life.
What I like about the South Bend campus and what's so special about it is that we're such a tight-knit group. It feels like you're with family the entire time.
I met the people and I'm like, these people, they're great. I did not expect this. Everyone's so friendly. Everybody hugs each other and pushes each other. They study together.
When I look at my friends that I'm in class with every day, they really keep me going. They really keep me motivated. So they're 100% integral to my success.
If your type 1 error is low.
In 2016, the IU School of Medicine introduced a new curriculum to be phased in over 4 years.
It's very different than what generations of students have experienced at IU previously in its focus on integration and a shift from lecture-based learning to much more learning in small groups and much more experiential learning. Season here is not very helpful. The only season that's excluded is summer. The first course in the new curriculum is called Transitions, and it's really meant to mark the transition from layperson to healthcare professional, to frame their experience and provide a scaffold on which the subsequent 4 years can be built. And so it integrates a number of different disciplines, including epidemiology, evidence-based medicine, as well as ethics and professionalism. During transitions, they had an opportunity to go out into the community. One group was at the Center for the Homeless, another was at the food bank, using that as a context for developing an understanding of social dimensions that impact health and access to health care. Throughout their career, they'll be working in the context of teams and with other professions. So we tried to lay that foundation.
Here I wasn't, no, you go meet with this gorgeous.
The Physician Advocacy Lunch was an opportunity to bring in 3 physicians from the community to demonstrate to our students different ways that they can use their medical knowledge and expertise to impact the health of the community and around the world.
But I think if you get to be
We wanted to introduce a clinical experience. We wanted them to have an opportunity to interview a patient. The difference was that the patient was the expert because they were interviewing patients about their experience of care.
on whatever you're trying to close.
The transitions course gives them an opportunity, especially with the small group learning activities, to form their own culture, the culture of their class.
So what advice would former first-year students give to new students?
I grew up on a farm. I'm not used to like the whole business casual, wear slacks, wear a tie and stuff like that. So when it came time for like pictures and things like that, if I could tell a first-year student, like, you should make sure to do this, even though it kind of sounds lame, is have a tie in your car. Have some shoes in your car, have a stick of deodorant somewhere on hand, because it's the little things that can ruin your day.
I would tell a future first-year student to take time for themselves that first semester.
Understand that you are a medical student, however, you're still a human being. And so you still have emotions, you still have family, you still have friends, and don't lose sight of the people that are most important in your life.
Supporting each other has gotten us through like a lot.
This has been the best, most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. It's been absolutely wonderful.